Welcome back to Brashonomics. I'm Ben Brashen here alongside Jim Estrada. And, a lot of people as they go through the holiday season, as we just talked about, some people take vacations, some people take, I suppose, staycations, stay at home. And most people, well, at least a lot of people, get a lot of different gifts. Jim Estrada does join us, owner and lead inspector of Property Inspector LLC, who's been inspecting homes for almost 10 years and has performed over 3,500 inspections. Jim, first of all, welcome back. Did you have a good Thanksgiving and all that fun stuff?
Had a great Thanksgiving and ready for the holidays.
Yeah? What is the inspection business like going through, November, December?
Some years are a little bit on the slow side. We're busy, and just very, very blessed with business all the time right now. So
I noticed that because every time I read your intro, your number of inspections seems to tick up.
Yeah, they definitely keep ticking up. No question about it. Yeah, business is good, so we're happy with that.
That's great. So, okay, let's get into, like I said, a lot of people are going to have time on their hands. A lot of people might be getting gifts. And if you watch any, guy TV like I do, football and things of that nature, you know that Sears and every other big company is having Sears and Home Depot and Lowe's are having sales on tools, aren't they, Jim?
Big sales on tools. And I was kind of thinking about it. I remember when I had one of my best friends get married back in my early 20s, which was just a couple of years ago. I was trying to think of a gift for him, and I bought him a toolbox and a whole bunch of tools. And when weddings typically happen, what do they get? They get dishes, towels, appliances. Nothing ever for the guy, it seems like, in terms of the wedding. And I remember very vividly his wife about 5 years later telling me, we've used that toolbox so many times. It's come in so handy. So anyway, I made a list of kind of the top 10 tools, and they're great Christmas ideas. If you've got somebody in the home that's a first-time home buyer, also some great ideas. A ladder is probably one of the best tools because you definitely, with the rain around here, got to clean your gutters. And having a good ladder is paramount. I have what I like is the Little Giant. They sell them all over the place. They make copies of them, but the Little Giant is the premier ladder, and don't scrimp when it comes to buying a ladder.
The thing that's going to hold you 8 to 10 feet in the air or 20 feet in the air. I'd say that'd be the one thing you don't skimp on.
It's amazing. I mean, it's the number one reason for emergency room visits is people falling off of ladders, especially this time of year with people putting Christmas lights up. Okay, so get a good one. The Little Giant, I know it comes in like 17s, 24s, and 30s. So get a ladder.
How much is a ladder? You can tell from the guy who doesn't own one.
Well, ladders are going to range anywhere from $75 to $500. A good one with a good size to it is typically going to be $300 to $400. Okay, and you definitely want a good one, and you want it to extend at least 3 feet above the highest point that you're going to have to get to. So if you got to get up 20 feet, you need a 23, 24-foot ladder.
Makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Next one is a circular saw. Okay, everybody wants to cut something. Okay, in terms of guys, let's cut it up.
It sounds like that should be a song of some sort. Everybody wants to cut something.
Well, I'll tell you, the circular saw is a great first saw. There are two other saws that I'd highly recommend along with that, and that's a Sawzall. If you're actually going to get into any kind of remodeling, that actually holds a 12-inch, very skinny blade and can get into all kinds of things and open up all kinds of walls pretty easily if you needed it to. And if you're not good, now a lot of the circular saws actually come with lasers on them, so it makes it much easier to cut a straight line than it was when I was first starting with a circular saw. But also a miter chop saw, okay, is also a great investment if you're going to actually do any kind of remodeling. Okay.
What is a miter chop saw?
Well, a chop saw is it's got a small table. You're going to pull the saw down, so it just chops it, and you can also angle it
almost
to
like
any kind of miter.
An old school paper cutter, like in elementary school, you had the big paper cutter.
There you go, a little bit like that. Yeah, no question. And then a cordless drill. would really be probably the next big investment. And one of the things this time of year you'll see is they have packs out there that have great Christmas buys because they're looking really at selling the accessories and the batteries and those kinds of things. And you might get 4 or 5 battery-operated tools with that power drill for a real reasonable price. A couple small circular saws and those kinds of things too.
Well, and the drill has to be the one thing that is on sale at every single store, the cordless drill. I've probably saw 25 ads for one of them.
You know, and they make
yellow.
all kinds of them too. I mean, my favorite in terms of home inspection is actually one that I get for about $25 because it's real small and it works for, you know, taking electrical panels off and light projects. But if you want that big screwdriver for really drilling and stuff, yeah, you're going to spend $100 or more. Okay, hammers. Okay, hammers are a necessary tool in every house. Okay. Just to make,
some people like to cut stuff and some people like to hit stuff.
You know, exactly. You got the idea. Okay. Next thing, a garden hose. Okay. I think everybody needs a garden hose for something, okay, in terms of emergency, just if it's washing your car, okay. Tape measures, make sure you get a 25-footer and get a good one because you're going to use it for a long, long time and always have a need for a tape measure. A good level. Okay, and I would recommend at least a 4-foot level when you're making projects or if you're helping hang wallpaper or you're hanging pictures or whatever. A level comes in real, real handy for all that kind of stuff when you're moving into a new house. Screwdrivers, they come in great packs. Typically, you can buy a set of like screwdrivers and also pliers. You know, like 5% kind of thing for a real reasonable price, and that's a real nice gift and also a real emergency type of thing to have around the house. And then a stud finder. Ben, what do we do here?
You're going to have to keep looking. So,
Okay.
and talk about why a stud finder is important because, I mean, I know a lot of people, I think back, and it's easy to just, you know, hammer stuff into drywall and things actually seem to stay okay. There's drywall nails. What's the stud finder so important for?
Well, if you're going to have anything heavy, okay, you definitely want it to go into that 2x4, and you'd like to make as few holes as possible in your drywall, okay? And if you can find that 2x4 right away, and it's going to sense where nails are in that 2x4 and make it very, very easy for you to find something to hang it properly.
Jim Estrada joins us discussing some gift ideas for the first-time homeowner. Now, Jim, you know, you might go through, you get these great gifts, you get all these tools, a ladder, saw, drill, you know, tape measures, pliers. Then, of course, you're going to want to know what to do with them. There's a big piece of this, though, that I think is important to bring up, which is people need to kind of know their projects. I mean, just because they have the tools doesn't make them a craftsman.
That is very, very true. In fact, I've talked about some. Well, in fact, I got a game here. Let's talk about that.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Let's talk about different projects that you can do yourself, or you should hire a contractor for.
Okay.
Okay. So let's see, Heather. Let's get you in on this one here.
Oh, Heather, get up here, girl.
Okay. So if we were going to just, we wanted to put a light. I'm sorry, if we wanted to put
I'm going to be really bad at this.
if we wanted to put a light post at the end of the driveway, okay? So all we needed to do was run a wire out there, pop a post in the ground. What would we do? Would we do that yourself?
First,
or
you
would
got to
hire
call
somebody?
that 611 number or whatnot because, you know, you got to call before you dig.
Oh, I'd say contractor all the way for that one.
All right, contractor. That's a good one. Okay, definitely a contractor.
Am I right?
Anytime you're doing stuff with electrical, going to bury wires and those kinds of things, you definitely would like to have a contractor.
That involves
do it.
some cement too, right? Getting a pole in the ground?
It does. So it
See?
means heavy work.
Way over my head.
Okay. All right. How about painting a room? Okay, now remember when you paint a room, you got to have nice lines and stuff.
Well, if I had that 4-foot leveler that you were talking about, I think I could do that one on my own.
Okay, yep, you're right. Boy, she's good, 2 for 2.
I'm hiring out all of this, just so you know.
Okay, I was thinking you probably would. You don't have any of these tools, do you?
I have a toolbox that sits in our house that my kid goes and plays in. And I'm
What's your wife's number?
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay, installing drywall. Okay, we had a small room that we'd like to come in. Sorry, and hang some drywall. Is that something that you could do yourself?
Gosh.
I imagine you could.
Yeah,
I
maybe
couldn't. I couldn't, but I bet you
couldn't.
could.
Well, you know what? And then when we're talking about do-it-yourself projects, it's like, okay, what level of experience do you have? Hanging the drywall, actually, just because it's very, very heavy, that's a bit of a job in itself, but it's really all that taping and finishing work and the amount of dust and stuff. And the professional comes in, makes it look so easy, makes a limited amount of dust, and it's a 4-trip process. You got to hang the drywall, you got to slap the mud on, you got to slap the tape and the mud and the sand and blah, blah, blah.
And then you have to paint it, right?
And then you got to paint it. So you can come in at the end.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't DIY.
All right. So now, like in our studio here, we got a suspended ceiling. How about this? Is this something you could do yourself?
What does a suspended ceiling mean?
Suspended ceiling means we have metal tracks and we put tiles in there, and it's actually hanging down about a foot from the ceiling to hide pipes and wires and those kinds of things.
No, there's no way.
If you know what, if we don't know what a suspended ceiling does,
There's lights and speakers and there's sprinklers up there.
Okay, so maybe not.
well, that was one that the pros say that you could definitely do it yourself. So
What?
Anyway.
They don't know us.
Okay, refinishing wood floors. Okay, that's a simple job. Just get out a big sander and sander down and pour it out.
What do you think, Ben?
There's no way I could redo my. Hey, okay, I got 2 things. 1, there's no way I could do it. 2, my wife would not let me near any way would she let me near wood floors with anything that would require sanding.
I feel like you could redo a floor. I feel like you get a sander, you sand it, you put some stain on, there you go.
Well, I'll tell you, when you take a sander and you put just a little bit of uneven pressure to it in one direction, all of a sudden your floor is ruined. So definitely something that you want a pro to do, and the sealants that you put on are very, very toxic. So actually you want to be away from the house. Need to make sure you turn off any kind of gas flames in the house, okay, before you leave, and let somebody do that. How about a
That's my first one wrong, so that's fine.
No, you're doing good. Tankless water heater.
I don't want anything to do with that.
Okay. All right. Definitely.
Jim, I thought this would be like, hang pictures is where I go, yeah, we could do that. And this is like, hey, put a tankless water heater in.
Ben, if you can't hang a picture, we got bigger problems.
Tankless water heater looks pretty simple.
No, it
just
doesn't.
hook up a couple of pipes and stuff, run a wire to it, put it on the wall, and you're done.
There's a no.
But no,
okay,
definitely.
So coming from the guy who's in construction, I get it. But if, there's some people in this studio. Does anybody else think that they would even consider putting in a tankless water heater?
Mike, what do you think?
Good.
I would, so I'm not here, Mike.
Good. I don't think anybody wants to do that, okay? And I don't recommend anybody do that, okay? But so far we're doing pretty good. We missed the ceilings and what was the other one?
The floor. I missed the floor.
Okay.
And by the way, Jim Estrada joins us, owner and lead inspector with Property Inspector LLC. Jim, we just have a couple minutes left. This is fun.
Yeah, we're playing a game with the DIY projects are DIY or not. And so far, Ben and I have only got 2 wrong.
Okay, solar landscape lights. Would you put those in yourself or not?
I wouldn't put them in because they don't work.
No, but you can put them in yourself. I've seen my dad do it.
You can definitely put them in yourself.
Yeah, I did that myself.
But I agree.
They last a few days and then it's lights out.
In Seattle, they don't work.
No, they really don't.
They really
They're
don't.
garbage, man.
I tell you. Okay, how about removing wallpaper?
That sounds awful.
What, removing wallpaper?
Or putting it up. I think it'd just be so crooked. Actually, removing wallpaper, I don't know how to do it, but I think you just water it down, pull it off.
Just water it down and pull it off. Yep, that's the deal.
Really?
Yep.
Yes.
Pretty easy. Okay, so you can
it's
do that
like
one
an old-
yourself.
it's like an
Ben,
old-
could you do that one on your own?
Is this like an old school stamp that you like lick and then it stickies?
Well, some of it's pretty tough stuff.
Yeah. I mean, not that you'd lick the wallpaper. I'm just saying, like, you get it wet and you just stick it on.
But we're talking
Like a
about taking it
sticker?
We're
off.
talking about taking it off. Old wallpaper. That we're putting paste on
I was gonna
and
say no
glues and-
wallpaper.
The new wallpaper actually does come off pretty easily. The old one, it was real tough to get it off. But you can get a
Yeah,
steamer,
I'm-
and it's all labor intensive, so that's
Once
something you
again,
can do yourself.
I'm probably a nickel short here because I don't own a steamer.
I do.
You could rent one.
I could rent. Nope, I'm not
You can
taking
borrow
wallpaper
mine.
down, Jim.
All right, we got time for one
All
more.
right, one more. Okay, clogged sink drain. What do you do?
Call Beacon.
Okay, it's yeah, exactly.
Drano?
It's Thanksgiving and somebody put potato peels in the kitchen sink. What do you do?
Pour vinegar and baking soda and boiling water down it.
Hey, you know what? You pull the P-trap apart and
Or that.
dump it out and get going again.
What did
so
you say?
anyway,
Pour
no problem.
boiling water, baking soda, and vinegar?
Yeah, if you don't want to use
Sounds
chemicals,
like, isn't that
you
like what the
can do that.
kids do to like
Instead
blow
of
up
instead of
things
Drano,
and-
you put baking soda in your drain, then you put vinegar in it, let it sit for 30 minutes, and then you dump boiling water down it. It's old housewives trick.
All right.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't
No,
work.
don't.
You know what? You know what it does? It moves the clog farther down, and then it becomes a problem. So you want to get it in the beginning when it's right in the sink in the P-trap.
Yeah, so if you're comfortable going under your sink, unplugging your pipes and dumping them out, do it. Otherwise, you can always call Beacon Plumbing or
There you go.
get a garbage disposal, man. I mean, who puts potato peels in there that actually... Never mind.
Potato peels go in a disposal, and they will clog up.
Really?
Yes. You do not put those down a disposal.
Oh. 2 strikes for me. I'm out. Thanks, Jim. Really appreciate you joining us. We do have to go to break. When we come back, Michael Busacca will join us. We'll be right back after this break.